Hello out there. What is wrong with my sound? Okay. Okay, something is up with my sound. All right, this is better. Okay. Welcome everyone to Agrivest Reality TV Challenge, where agriculture meets innovation, creativity, and technology. My name is Honey Augustine, and I'm me go carry on our car round through this journey to farm money. Last night, we welcomed 40 potential smart farmers into the Agrivest crib. 40. And today we're about to kickstart our smart farming learning with one of the most vital source of food for humanity, a crucial provider of nutrients like protein, omega 3, fatty acids, and other minerals and also vitamins. To do that, we have one of the best. But before I bring him up, let me get our smart farmers here in the arena. Smart farmers, let's have you. So, as you're coming, I need you to just dip your hand in this bowl and pick one. You don't have to look at it, it's fine. You don't have to look at it. Don't worry, just find your seats. It's okay. As you're coming, just pick one and move. Move. You can have your seats and just pass it round. Everybody will have one. Everybody will have one. Everybody will have one. Hold the paper, hold the bowl and pick one. You don't have to look at it. Close your eyes. Pick one and just pass it. All right. Okay, as we're doing this, our dear viewers, it's about to get really interesting in here, so I advise you have your writing materials because we're here to learn the art of smart farming. I have two more. It means two people do not. Okay, good. Okay, everybody has one, right? Okay, good. We'll get to that in a short while. Congratulations once again, smart farmers. How was your night in the Agrivest mansion? It was awesome. It was great. Haha. Anyway, we'll talk about that much later. But for now, let's talk about why we're here. Let's get to business. Now, to our potential smart farmers out there, our Agrivesters, I hope you all have your books and ready to learn because we're here to learn, for starters, the art of business, the art of fish farming business. And we have one of the best in the fish farming business. I'm sorry, these guys are really on fire. They've been there all day, so they'll be all right. You guys will be fine. Just enjoy your rides with them, all right? Anyway, Okay, so like I was saying, we have one of the best in the fish farming business. And he's been in business for 22 years. 22 years is a long time to be a professor, and that's what they call him. He's a professor of physiology. And not just that, he's also a specialist. This one, I need to get my book because now plenty grammar. He's a specialist in hydro. Let me open it. Mona no vex. Because this English, I feel bite my tongue. Okay. Exactly. He's a specialist on geomorphology. I sure say many of you never hear this one. Myself, I never hear him before. I promise. Also, hydrology and cartography. Father. Okay, that is not all. He's also the MD, Managing Director, Flourishing Center, Fish and Agro Farm. And also the National President, Catfish Farmers Association of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, when I say we have the best, I mean we have the best for the job. And he would drill us for whole 1 week. We're not out to come and tell you, oh, come, let's show you just the basics. No, we're here to impact. And it means we're giving you the rudiment of fish business, fish farming business. And he is here, none other capable for the job than Professor Physiology, the boss, Onoja Sunday Musa. Thank you. Thank you. So before I give him the mic, I just wanted you guys to look at his face. He's a very handsome man. All right. So I'm so sorry, sir. Let me just make this easy for you. I have 1 to 10 number. Please, pardon me. I should do this before now, but I have 1 to 10 in the numbers that you picked. They one corner. Mona find one herself. Go one corner. Mona find one herself. Please, there was a seat out for you. No? Okay. I have 11 to 20. Mona look for one herself. They one corner. 21 to 30. Find one herself. 31 to 40. You guys should get seats. Just sit with your group members. That's all. You know what? You know what? 1 to 10. You guys are here, right? Okay, 1 to 10 right here. 11 to 20, I want to see you guys here. 21 to 30, I want to see you guys here. 21 to 30 here. 31 to 40 here. Sharply. You have 30 seconds to do that. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right. Now here's the drill. You will be working in groups. In groups. And whatever points you get will be shared amongst you guys as a group. So do well. Remember that at the end of this class, at the end of the week, 10 people go house. Yes, 10 people. So no na put na mind because na work. You come here, come work. She na get. All right. I think our voting portals will be up sooner, so that can commence from tomorrow. So you guys do your bits and let the best man win. 20 million naira. Farm money season, baby. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Sunday.
Well, should I say good evening? Uh, Welcome to the first edition of Agrivest TV reality show. I hope you take advantage of this opportunity given to you out of so many people that apply to be part of us here. Now, water pouring on you is part of your training because we are in fish business now. Fish business has to do with water. So be ready to be dirty. Am I communicating? If you're not ready to be dirty, like some of us said yesterday, I like trouble. Fish likes trouble. Am I communicating? All right, you're welcome. Now take advantage of this opportunity given to you because many people prayed to be here. Out of so many, you were picked. And make sure the impact of the knowledge should be your target. When she was talking, I mentioned 20 million. I heard everybody clapping. But from this training, it's far beyond 20 million. Am I communicating? So be ready to work. Because from this moment, if you mess up, I wish you the best. And if you take advantage of every step that I'll be putting forth before you, I also wish you the best. Now, they introduced me as professor of physiology. I am not a professor in the university. It was Maoga Patapata, my mentor, the one I call my father without giving birth to me. Always talking on radio. Guys, I'm talking of Honoria Medisa. Whenever he calls me to the studio, he always say, Professor of Physiology. I'm not a fish farmer. I'm not, how do I call it now? A person that went through the university to read fishery. He said, you are fashion designer. Some of us said we are farmers. Am I communicating? Some of us from different fields. Some of us say we are even artists or actors. So whichever one you are, you don't need to go through the university to learn this. So for those of us that are at home, please be ready because what you're about to go into is something every one of us can do regardless of your background. All you need to do is just listen to instruction, apply your heart to whatever to be passing across to us from here, and see success coming out from this particular discussion. Once again, good evening. So what is my name? Hello, number 1 to 10, what is my name? Okay, I wish you the best. 11 to 20, what is my name? 21 to 30, what's my name? Only 2 people spoke here. 31 to 40, what's my name? I said something that my name is Onoja Sunday Musa, but somebody gave me that title. So we started. Now, in this particular class, we have 5 days to spend here. Of them, when you see fish with eggs, what will you do? You will tell them, please don't kill that. I buy it, I take it home because I was taught that this fish has ability of putting millions in my pocket. So our orientation from today will change. That don't eat fish with egg. Rather keep them, let the egg get ripen, and get them hatch and multiply the babies. Am I communicating? So those are the two things we'll be handling in the class today. Now, when it comes to catfish farming, number one, you just need to pick up interest. You need to pick up interest. You must have passion for the trade or for the aspect of farming in that sector. You must have passion. One thing that is good about catfish farming is that it's not something too cumbersome. It's not something too technical. It's something you follow steps and step. And before you realize it, it's easy for you to come into full operation. Number one thing you need to have at the back of your mind is that these fishes is not something that lake, hot water fish. They are fresh water fishes. Am I communicating? They are fresh water. So it's not something you need to go to the ocean, to the Atlantic, to go and catch. Go in the water behind your house, maybe because you have a stream, a spring, a river, a lake. But because people do what we call capturing, many people in our villages or in settings close to water bodies that are fresh, what they normally do is to go to those water bodies and capture catfish. And because the fish are not things that move in colony. What I mean colony is that they move as a group. They don't move as a group. They move individually. So whenever they are captured, automatically you have taken one life out of the water system. And that is why the fishes are quite expensive. Am I communicating? That's why they are quite expensive. So because we have seen the benefit of catfish, some of our forefathers took it upon themselves to see how they can domesticate catfish using simple facilities in water and see how to feed them and how they can become big either for eating or for sale to generate income. So those kind of research was what some of us came to meet. And we improved on that because every time, every year, new technology keep coming up. And at the end of the day, whatever will be training us today are things that we have captured from the past. And we have worked upon them. And we have made them simple because when I came into this business 2022, what I'm going to pass across to us here and the audience watching all over the world, I know what I was taught. Are you getting me? So in the next 5 years, whatever I'm training you here today, some of you will be better than me. And many of us out there. And also what you'll be presenting to those that might become your audience then will become something simpler compared to whatever thing I'll be showcasing to us today. So I was taught using what they call a stream, where they dug what we call 18 pond, close to water body. And imagine how many of us have water body close to us? Many, very few people. So I was taught in such an environment. But through research and through communication and interaction with people, I came to realize that I can grow catfish using simple container. What is a container? Container is something that can hold water or anything liquid. So anything liquid that can hold water, I mean anything, let me put like a tarpaulin, a plastic, a concrete pond, or a fiber tank that can hold water. That is called a container. But the size of the container will determine the volume of fish you put in that particular container. For instance, if you look at this container, this is a container, am I correct? Hello? Smart farmers? Smart farmers? Okay. Hope you know I'm going to give you mark. So I'm watching your eyes and your response. Now, is this a container? Is this a container? Is that white one there a container? Which is bigger? So which one will hold more fish? Can you say this one will hold more fish compared to this one? Why? It's a small. But do you know you can grow fish with this small container? Are you sure? Are you sure? that if I put small fish in this container, that they will grow between 4 to 6 months, they will grow and become big fish? How many of you have done it before? Can I see your hands? You've grown, please, be on your feet, please. One, be on your feet, quickly. Oh, from each of the group. 1, 2, hello, hello. We are interacting, the world are watching us. You've done it before. How was the experience? Speak out, don't worry. Just 1 minute. No, this container. How was yours?
Well, at first the experience wasn't easy because I bought around 500, although I split them into groups. Because, okay, I split them into groups because if you get to join the bigger ones and the small ones, they get to eat the small ones. So I had to take the one that are a little bit bigger from their age group and I put them in a different rubber, and then I change the water like every 2 to 3 days.
Then the last person, quickly.
It was in this type of containment. The result was the fish were jumping out of the containment. I don't know what to do. They were just dying.
Please, hope you can get the two experiences. One, because she stocks so much, she have to get smaller container to spread the fishes because they are not the same sizes. And this one said they started with this, and as they started growing, they started jumping out. It's true. Both of them are correct. Now, but one thing I want us to have at the back of our mind is that we can start with this, what they call it, Better Life. Am I correct? Is that the name? This container is called Better Life. That is the popular name our mothers give to this container. I don't know why they call it Better Life. But with this container, you can grow fish. This is a 50-liter container. This is a 50-liter container. That white tank there is a 1,000-liter container. Why this particular one here is 2,000 liters container. In other words, this is bigger than the white. The white is bigger than this. So number one thing you have at the back of your mind is that any container that is free of metallic substance can be used. So while you write it down, because I'm going to ask you questions later. Anything free from metallic substance, in other words, any kind of container that is not built with anything called metal or iron, can be used for catfish farming. Number two, you don't need a big land to start a catfish business. Like this container here, do I need to go and buy a plot of land? Hello, smart farmers. Do I need to buy a big, maybe one plot of land to put this small container? Please give me answer. Do I need to buy a big space of land to put this one? Do I need to buy a big space of land to put the other white one? Do you know that many of our balcony or balconies, and even our toilet, and even if your bedroom, you know, some bedroom is as big as this whole place we are seated right now. You put a bed somewhere, a big TV, and a man having a place to play lawn tennis, or because he called it a bedroom. Do you know that that space can also be utilized based on what we are seeing now to domesticate catfish farming? There are some bathrooms that are so big. Have you seen some bathroom? Very, very big. That are even bigger than some people's parlor. You ask yourself, what kind of a bath will a man take and have a bathroom that is as big or half of this place we are seated? Rather than having such a big space, not utilizing them, you can develop or get a container like this tarpaulin pond, those white tanks, even some of these plastic tanks that are bigger than this, and put them in your bathroom. That is a piece of land. Am I communicating? That is a piece of land. So you don't need to get to the riverine environment to start it, for those who might not have spaces close to such environment. But if you have a space that can take a container in your balconies, behind your house, your backyards, or a big space in your bathroom, or even in your parlor, there's nothing wrong using such a place to domesticate catfish. You can use that. So the first foundation is this. A container that is free from metallic substance can be used for what? Catfish farming. Number two, you don't need a big space to start. So whatever spaces you have, you can do what? You can use it. Am I communicating? Yes, are you picking something? Yes. Then number three, you don't need to go and get a big borehole to start this business. If you have a borehole, it's okay. If you have a well, it's okay. If you have public water, the one that government gives to you, it's okay. If you have a spring, a stream, a river, a lake that is free from anything called saltiness or any form of debris, that is clean, that you can use for domestic purpose, such water, you can use it to domesticate catfish. I mentioned almost 7 sources. I mentioned what? Borehole, well, water from government, you call pipe-borne water, I call spring, I call stream, I call lake, and I call river. So if you have any of these sources close by, you can use that, either for large-scale production or for small-scale production. But if you have money to put any of those ones in place, it's beautiful. But for so many people that may not have the money to start digging water, well, borehole, and water fuel, you can look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, come on, I heard you have water. I just listened to Agrivest right now from the TV, from the channels we have posted, and I was told I can use any water. Please, that your water from your compound. Can I please put a pipe to your compound? Maybe give the person a token because of diesel or petrol, and you bring it to your compound or environment. And you cannot put that water in your container. That means you have gotten what we call a water source. Is that okay? You have gotten a water source. So water source is very vital. But the water we are looking at is not salty water. We call it fresh water. Okay? So we have mentioned 3 things you should look out for. Number 1, the container free from metals. Number 2, any small space you have in your house, you can use that. And number 3, any water source that is free from salt, close to your environment, you can also use it as your water source. Are we okay with those 3? I'm going to point you in your group to bring out those points I've itemized, to tell us what I've said. That's why I see me going back to the foundation, bringing the point and making it look very simple. So for as many of us that are open to listening, please listen. Those of you who are jotting, wonderful. It shows you are serious students. Now, you have gotten that container. You have gotten a space. You have gotten water. Mr. Noja, what next? What next has to do with fish? Oh? You see, before I even go into fish, there is what we call the testing of water. Because, you see, water are not the same all over Nigeria. Please follow me. Waters, I'll use that terminology. Waters are not the same in all parts of Nigeria. For those in the West, when we mean West, I mean those of you from Ondo, Lagos, Ogun, Osun, you still remember one, Ekiti. You see, they are close to the Atlantic Ocean. Okay? And we all know that the Atlantic Ocean, their water sources there are what? Is salty. It's salty in nature. So their water there are mostly acidic. Their pH are mostly, when we mean pH, let me use a simple term because of the audience at home and for those of us who are not inclined scientifically. But yesterday somebody said my scientific name, is it Mr. White? Who was the person? He said my scientific name is what? Safano. So let me say my own scientific name is Professor. Is that okay? Because when I heard that term, scientific name, I became curious. So that I want to see what I want to say. And even the name was so long that many of us could not even record. Ask me to record your name now. I have to start praying. So we want to use some scientific terms because the audience at home, many of them might not have a background of science. So when we mean the water close to the Atlantic body, that means those big water that are bounding our borders, okay, the Atlantic, those water are salty. So the environment, the states that share those boundaries, those water there, though might be fresh, but because they are close to that kind of water that is salty, their pH, which is like, we call it potential of hydrogen for those who are into science. But I want to use one term that is easy. Hard water, soft water. Hard water, soft water. So any water that seems that when you drink it, it feels brittle. You know, there's some water that they put alum. I mean, some of you know alum, Abi. Some of you are here from Benue, Kogi, and they use a lot of alum in those states because of their water table content. The water table is so deep. So most of them depend on water from, in those days, please, they depend on water from either the harvest water from the rainfall into what we call reservoir or water siting. Okay? They now cover it up with zinc. When it's dry season, they open it. Why some, like me that came from soil background, I want to mention my state. We used to get water that when rainfall, they would just go and dig a big hole because there's no money in those days to have those kind of water well. Okay? So they'll just dig a pit. So when the rain is falling, it will pass through that pit. The dirty one will go. The diluted water, the dust will go down. The clean water will be up. So we have what we call this clay pot. How many of you have seen clay pot before? You see clay pot? Okay. So we'll gather water from that place and put in our clay pot. And they will now put alum. The alum is to help to make the water clean. But by the time you drink the water, you can't compare that water to bottled water that we are drinking these days or pure water we are drinking these days. But the good thing about it is that we grew with that. And there's nothing like typhoid in our body. Am I communicating? Nothing like typhoid. That was natural. We grew up with that. So such water can be harnessed. But you don't need to put alum to use for catfish farming. Only that you cannot control such water because it's controlled from heaven. It's a seasonal kind of thing that comes once in a while. But what I'm trying to bring out is that, you see, by the time you put that alum, the water is no more going to be soft. It's not going to be like the way it was when it fell from up. It's going to be a little bit hardened. So we call it maybe something like alkaline water or hard water. Is that okay? So if your water is a little bit hard, by the brittleness or the way it's not so free in your mouth, it shows that that water is a little bit what? Hard. If you drink some water, and you drink and you be like say something, they burn your tongue. You just feel say this water, not be say hard, but it's not normal. Sometimes go look water like this, go see some kind of color. Which kind of water be this? And most kind of water, those kind of water, and then all those Atlantic environments, those water we call them soft. But when they become too soft, we don't like it. So for this class, I presume all of us have passed through secondary school. Am I correct? Is there anybody here that didn't go through secondary school? So that means all of us did integrated science. Hello. All of us here did integrated science. Am I correct? And in integrated science, they will tell you there's one long line. And that line is starting from 1 to 14. Good. I'm hearing from some of you. The middle is 7. 1 to 7, they say acidic, which is soft. 7 to 14 is called alkaline or basic, which is a little bit hard. And they will tell you that any water that is reading in that 7, maybe down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anything to 5, they say is highly concentrated. That means that water is not good to drink. And when they say when it's between 10, 11, 12, 14, it's too hard. But we now have to find a way to test water, either for our consumption or for fish farming. And we came out with 3 things, but I will teach the audience at home, including you, what they don't need to buy this equipment. Number 1, we're taught that you can use litmus paper. Do you remember litmus paper? It's a paper you dip into water, it will change color. So if it is, they say if red is acidic, that means it's acidic. If blue is alkaline, I'm giving an example, that means the water is alkaline. But if it is a color, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 14 have different color, okay, which you call indicators. Hope you remember those things. They call it indicators because every number has a color. So whatever you dip that sensitive paper into the water, it comes out with a color. It is that color that will determine which of the range it is, whether below 7 or above 7. Now, and we are told that any water between 5 to 9, that water is good for drinking, that water is good to domesticate catfish and other fishes. So what is that range? It's 5 to 9. In other words, plus or minus 2 from 7. Plus 2, 9 from 7. Minus 2, 5 from 7. So when you take a reading between 5 to 9, and your water is within that range, it shows that the water is good for domesticating fish. But you see, to me, the closer to 7, the better. Because the performance of 6 and 8 is better than the performance of 5 and 9 because 7 is neutral. Am I communicating? Hello? Are you lost? Please, we are going through the basic things that should be in place. So when we start putting fish, we know that everything is in place and all the indices are correct. Because if you rush and buy fish, or we give you fish and put in water, you don't know all those things. Automatically, you just say, my fish don't die. Maybe because the pH is less than 5 or above 7, above 9. So that might be the cause of why when you put fish immediately, everything will just die. So we are taking us through the steps simply so that we don't make mistakes. So water that is between 7 to 9 or 7 to 5 are good. But the one that is 6 and 8, close to 7, that means it's not too acidic, it's not too alkaline. Is that okay? So if you get 7, which you cannot get anywhere, you can't get 7 anywhere unless you have to do what we call titration, or you have to go to the lab to get that. That is water free from anything called impurity. Even the pure water that we drink, bros, it still have small kolo. Am I correct? So, but 6 to 8, wonderful. So you can use a litmus paper to test, or you can use what I have in my hand, which we call a pH meter. What do I call this? Smart farmers. What do I call this? So you can use a pH meter. This is less than 15,000 naira. Less than 15,000. And this one does two purposes. One is to read your water pH, whether it's acidic or alkaline, and also to tell you the water temperature. Okay, if your temperature of your water is too high, 32, 35 degree, 40, if it's too high, automatically the water will be hot. The oxygen content will reduce. By the time you put fish, because oxygen content have depleted because of the heatness of the water, what happened? The fish will not do well. So we need a temperature where fish will do well. But before we get to temperature, let's exhaust the quality of water in terms of pH. So this one is to test water. So by the time you dip this inside water, whether there's fish or not, by the time you dip it, it will give you a reading. And what this one is telling me, because there are fishes inside already, 7.5. It has moved back to 7. Because the pH, this particular machine, must be on 7. You must set it to 7. So when you put it inside water, it either goes up or comes down. So wherever it stops is the pH of your water. Are we okay with this? So this is what we call a pH meter. The third one, I will have gone into that one. That one is a liquid type of litmus paper. But I don't want to go into that because of time. But you can use your mouth to test. Simple thing. Everybody here have a mouth. If you have a mouth, say smart farmer. Some of you, your mouth are small. If you have a mouth, say smart farmer. So now, you are going to learn how to cash it later. It's part of your class. So now, if you have a tongue, which I believe everybody here have, am I correct? You can test this water. If you drink a water that is comfortable for you to take into your body, you will know. If a water is bad, even if a water is salty, your tongue will tell you. If a water is good for you to assimilate into your system, your tongue will tell you. So any water you can drink and you're comfortable to use to cook your food, you can use such water to farm catfish. If you cannot use your tongue, go and buy detergent. Say, I'm coming back home, small. You all know detergent, Omo, Elephant, Area, what else? Many of them. Some don't have name. They are looking blue or white in color. You can put your water inside a bowl like this. Simple. Audience at home, please listen very well. You can put your water into a bowl like this. You can now get that detergent. You pour it inside, some quantity. Get a piece of cloth. Wash it. If you form lather or foam very fast, it shows that water is soft and very, very good. But if you keep washing and it's not bringing out foam, you keep pouring detergent and it's not bringing out foam, it shows that water is what? Hardened. Okay? So you have to use that medium now to know a good water from a bad water. Is it simple? So we don't need to buy this. We use our tongue and we use detergent so that we can start this business quickly. So I will say that we've not known what is a good water. True of us. What is a good water? From this group, somebody should stand up and tell me what's a good water quickly. I'll jump your group now. What's a good water?
Thank you. A good water is water that is tested between 5 to 9. And the best water is tested between 6 and 8. 6 and 8. Thank you.
Clap for the group, please. You have answered that. Coming to your group, what are the things I say you use to test the water? Mr. White.
We should use litmus paper, pH meter, our mouth, and detergent.
Now, there's something I'm going to add. Thank you very much, Mr. White. You see, some water, when you see them, there's fish or not, by the time you dip it, it will give you. You go to water coming out from some sources. You see them some looking brownish, some looking orange, some having different color. Have you seen such waters before? Hello? Have you seen such water before? When you see a water coming out from your system or from any of your sources and it's looking brownish, it's looking orange, it's looking some kind of color that is not normal, do you open your mouth and drink such water? Why? It's not looking normal. So we call that the transparency of the water, the purity of the water. If I want to use Oyibo name, the turbidity of the water. But for us here, let me use my eye look am. This water clean. If you're not clean, I'm not going to use. So your eyes should help you to look at the water. If the water is transparent enough and neat enough, that means you can use such water. But if you look at the water is looking dirty, even though it's from a good source, be very careful. It's only those who stays in riverine environment that dig what we call earthen pond. Earthen pond simply means you dig the ground. Water from the source comes in. And those kind of water always have brownish color. Is that okay? Those ones you can use such water because it's in an environment that is muddy. Okay? But it's not for you to go and drink such water. But you can grow catfish in such water. So coming down to you. What did I say that is 11 to 20? Am I correct? When you take a water with your tongue, what are we to expect to say this water is good or not good? Who is to speak for your group? Okay?
If you take water with your tongue, you will feel the hardness and the softness of the water by your tongue. If you swallow it, yeah, yeah. If you by your tongue, once you taste it, rather, yeah.
Once you taste. So the tongue is to help us to taste because water cannot be so salty, and you say you take it in. By the time you take it in, prayer will start. So your tongue is to help you to taste. If it's not as something that you can assimilate, you do what? You spit it out. Is that okay? Now, coming to you. What did I say concerning the color of the water? What are you supposed to do? This water, is it good for fish farming using your eyes? What are you to look out for? Who to speak from this group? Okay, quickly.
Look at the color of the water. If it is transparent enough, then it is clean to use. But if it has different color like brown or so, then it's not good for.
Please, for all of you, clap for yourself. Have you learned something? For those of us who have not done fishery before, because yesterday I picked out almost 4 to 5 people and I was thumbing up for them. For those of you who are just coming to this industry, have you learned something today? Do you now know that you can do fish farming? Based on those things I've itemized, that you can use a little space, you can use a container, you can look at the water from your sources, and look at those things to look out for your water. Once all those things are in place, there's one other thing you should look out for before we now bring fish into play. What is that thing? This is water business. Water is coming out from your well. Water is coming out from your borehole. Water is coming out from your pipe bond the government gave to you freely, or you pay a token monthly, depending on the billing system. Water came out of your spring, your stream, your river, your lake. Even the one from heaven God gave you, and you harness them in a kind of a well and cover it up with a zinc. Or to be fishing, because there's no water sources around. This one is natural to use. You see, by the time you put your water in the container, and you put in this kind of container, and the white one, or maybe you do in a big, in a big dimension, a bigger dimension, that water must go somewhere. Because you can't just take the water, maybe you're a tenant, and go and pour the water in front of a fellow tenant. That kind of water will cause confusion. It will cause chaos. it will raise what we call bad belly. Even in an estate, if you are using this kind of container and you don't have a good water system and you just pour anyhow, even your company becomes filled, it becomes something that is not too comfortable for people to behold. So you must have what we call a place where water will do what? We go out. We go out. Okay, so we call that kind of a thing a disposable thing, a kind of a gutter, a kind of, maybe if there's a spring or a water source behind you, that kind of water can be poured there. But you see, one thing is this. You see this water, you don't need to pour it away. Because living things have lived inside, which is catfish. You have fed the catfish inside that water. That water is now organic. It's full of organic matter. A wise farmer, which I know you are because you are smart, you go and create a small garden because you're operating at a small level. You create a small garden to plant ugu, plant all those kind of vegetables we take. And use that water because we are looking at growing vegetables, growing plants using organic method. Now, God has helped you. You have grown fish. And the fish has turned your water to become organic. You can use that water to wet your vegetables with a small garden. You'll be surprised by the growth of those vegetables. Is that okay? So rather than pouring your water away, you can develop a small garden. That's if your water is not too voluminous. But if it's too voluminous, please use the one you can use, and the one that is too much, excess one, you can put them in the system and they move out. But they must move out an environment where it will not disturb your neighbor. Because there's what we call EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. The business I am doing, how does it affect my neighbor? Is that okay? There's no law that says you cannot do fish farming in your closet. But it becomes a law when the water coming out from your place is not disturbing your neighbor. You can do your fish farming in your bedroom. The man who taught me, Mr. Yo, is no more in the country. He taught me in his toilet. He taught me in his toilet. He used that we call bathtub. You know bathtub? That white container that you used to take our bath inside. I don't think many of us know. In those days, big men buy those things called bathtub. They will just lie down and be using soap. They'll be rubbing their body. Okay? And after that, they get up. But these days, how many of us get time to lie down inside that kind of thing? That is a fish pond. You can use that because it's a container. It can contain water. And it has water coming in. It has water going out. Hope you know that thing I'm talking about. Bathtub. It's a fish farm. It's a fish farm. So if you have that in your house, when you go back home, go and tell your daddy and mommy, this bathtub, daddy, let's start making money from here. And for the others at home, if you have a bathtub also, please tell your husband, Mr. Roger said that this one you're always sitting on, get out. Let's put water, let's put 30 fish. You can imagine if you're eating one fish or two fishes per month. That means you have domesticated it in your house, and also you're getting something using that bathtub. I'm not trying to say don't swim there, but now let's give room for fish to stay in that bathtub. Are we okay? So I won't say that. I think all those systems I've mentioned, you all know them. It's simple. Am I correct? Is it simple? So all those systems are things you can use. But like I said, make sure the water does not disturb your neighbor. I'm doing a light scale one. And nobody have even reported me once because I manage my water very, very well. If you enter our farms, you won't perceive smell. Some of you don't go and leave your water to stay so long, it becomes dirty. And when it becomes dirty, it starts building ammonia. It starts getting a kind of odor. And then it starts smelling. People enter your compound. Your compound is not a place to enter because why? The kind of gas oozing out or coming out from your pond is not good for people to breathe in. And for that they say, thank you, sir, and they go away. And it goes out from your compound to the next compound. So you must manage your water very, very well, so it doesn't disturb your neighbor. Are we okay with that? Now, I will say that because I know in this class and the audience listening to us is to start at a small level. And from that small level, when you get it right, you can go to a bigger level. And from there, you can go to your dreamland. But you must start small and grow big. Don't start big like many people have already done listening to us. And they have closed up. Start small. Look at your capital. What can my capital buy? Is it going to buy this kind of container that can do 10 or 5? Go ahead. Will I buy this one that can do 100 to 150? Go ahead. Can I buy that one that can do 100 to 150? Go ahead. But what you should have at the back of your mind, you start with the kind of facility your money can buy. There is no competition. Don't go and start with concrete pond. You know they want to build this thing. I go and buy block, buy granite, buy cement, buy sharp sand, buy soft sand, call plumber, call mason. You see, many things are coming there. So your cost of setting up a pond using concrete pond is so high. But if you start with some containers like this that you can buy in the market and set up immediately, such ones you can start by reducing your cost based on what you have and start at a low risk. Is that okay? At a low risk. Now, I won't say that. Mr. Noja, now I've gotten my container. I have water now. I've put water inside. I've looked at my neighbor. I have a gutter. Water can go without disturbing my neighbor. Or I've built a small garden where the water from here I can use to grow vegetable. So, Mr. Noja, I want to put fish now. But before you put fish, you need to ask yourself, how much do I have that I've bought the container? I want to put fish. Now, what is left in my account? Because one thing is to put small fish. Another thing is for you to be able to feed the fish. Because if you go and put fish that you cannot feed, you're not a fish farmer. You are just suffering our baby catfish. And that will arrest you. For instance, some people go and put 10,000 fish in a container because there's money to build. Somebody spend their money building so many ponds. And then by the time they now put fish, and when they not tell them the cost of buying a bag of food, they will not say this business is not a good business. It's a good business, but the only thing that there was no wisdom when they started. So those of you who are starting now, I want to say you are blessed. And the audience listening at home, I want to say you are blessed. How do I mean? Because you have not started, so you are learning from our own mistakes and the mistakes of others, so that you don't go and start big and crash out. Rather, you are starting small and growing big. Now, I have this container. And Mr. Noja said, please, I'm just trying to use an example. This container can carry 10 fish. Okay, let me just quickly do this one so that I don't get the audience confused, and including you. There's a quantity of water that you can stock fish. The volume of water will determine this quantity of fish that volume of water can grow. Let's quickly lay that foundation. For every one, some of you are not writing now, I'm looking at you. I hope when I ask questions later, you not get confused. This time I'm going to point you to give me answers. Now, for every 1,000 liters of water, you put 100 fish. In other words, okay, where's this thing? AY, where's the small net? Okay. Now, these are, we call this one jumbo, okay? They are not fingerlings, they are not juveniles, they are bigger than those sizes. So these are called jumbo. Is that okay? I want to grow, I said for every 1,000 liters of water, I can put how many fish? 100 fish. This 100 fish, let's assume this is 100. If I pour it inside, let me say this container, follow me. Okay, let me come here because of the camera. I pour it inside here. This 100 fish, all things being equal, no debt, good water system, and ability to feed is there. Are they going to grow in this container to maturity? Yes. Is that okay? This container here is not big. This is more or less like a 20-liter container. But the volume of fish here is more than 200. Can 200 fish grow here to maturity? But if I transfer this 200 to this container, and let me say I now put 100, can this one now grow them to maturity? Why? Because this is more than 1,000 liters container. Hope you are picking up. This is more than 1,000 liters container. So for every 1,000 liters of container, like that white tank is 1,000 liters container, I can conveniently grow my fish to maturity. The benchmark of Nigeria market for maturity is 1 kilo. Okay? Though 500 gram fish, which is 2, giving us 1 kilo, already table size. But because we have set our mindset that 1 kilo should be our benchmark, that means I can grow all my fishes here to the next 5 to 6 months to give me an average of 1 kilo. That means this container can carry it. That means these small fishes are just poured here, can grow in this particular container to maturity. Now, looking at this one, now this is 50 liter. This is a 50-liter container. So how many fish will I put here? Smart farmer. If 1,000 can take 100, so this is 50 liters. How many fish can I put here? Do your math again. House, people are watching you. If you are for 5, say I. If you are for 10, say I. All right. Where is it? Don't worry. Now, you got it right for 5. Okay? Clap for yourself. How did you arrive there? That you say is 5. Yes? So that gives you, for every 10 liter, I can grow 1 fish. Simple. Simple. I love this brain. For every 10 liter, I can grow 1 fish. So now everybody at home, when you get to any container shop, look at the liter written on it. All containers that are being sold in the market, they already have liters written on the body. Those GP tanks, all those other tanks you see, they all have liters written on them. So the quantity or the numbers written on that container, and they say 1,000 liters, 500 liters, 2,000 liters. We tell you that Mr. Nuja said, for every 10 liter, I can put 1 fish. 1,000 liters, I can put 100 fish. 2,000 liters, I can put 200 fish. It's not compulsory you must put 100. It's not compulsory you must put 200 depending on the liters. You see, the lesser the quantity, the better the growth, the less the competition, the better the survivor, and also the shortener the time of harvest. If I put 100 pieces of fish in this container, I put water, I feed them, I change water, and now get similar one like this. I put 60. You see, this one that is 60, they will do better compared to this one. I put 100, and changing water in this one that is 60 will be less. It's not as frequent as this one I put 100. Is that okay? So there's no law that say, because I say 100 for 1,000 liters, you must put 100. You can do 50, you can do 60. All depends on your target. But to maximize that facility, please put 100 for 1,000 liters. Are we okay? Sister, if you don't like water, move closer here so you don't distract my class, okay? Move closer to that place. Now, I will say that. Please, are we following? Have I made it simple for you? So you now know what quantity of fish to now stock in your container. Don't go and put 10,000 in a container that can take 1,000, because by the time we come to the monetary aspect, some people will be calculating. That is how we have a lot of quacks out there who will tell you put 10,000, it will grow here. You are smart farmers. Audience are not smart. They are not listening. And here is something new. Hope I'm correct. So with the little quantity you put in a given container, you can grow your catfish conveniently. Now, every business you go into, you must have a budget. Please, before going to fish, when I start fish now, I won't come back to those things again. You must have a budget. Because if you don't have a budget on how to grow fish or what they will eat within a given period of time, you might have problem in feeding. We see some people who put 10,000. For instance, let me use the present prices of fish. I produce feeds, okay? We produce feeds. But what made us to start producing feed has to do with the cost of the ones we buy in the market. And the Nigerian content must be promoted, because most of the things we need to produce our feeds have been given to us by God. How many of you know soya? How many of you know kuli kuli? What is kuli kuli? What is kuli kuli?
Bean cake.
Bean cake? No. I beg, scientific man. What is kuli kuli?
Granite egg.
Granite egg. No. I was like, yet. Kuli kuli, granite egg. This one, what do you call it on? Is it? Wait. You, water is pouring. Let me give her water is pouring. You. What is kuli kuli?
It's made from granite.
There's a name for it. What is the name? It's called granite cake. It's the extract. When you remove oil from granite, the extract from it, those residue, is what you call. You don't call it chaff. Chaff is something you can throw away. There's a name you attach to something beautiful, and the thing will look beautiful. If I tell you this kuli kuli you're eating now is granite chaff, you throw it away. because the name you attached to it have spoiled the taste. When you say granite cake, you know what is called cake? If you go to ShopRite to buy cake, you know what is called cake. It looks sweet, Abi. So let's call it the right name. What is the name again? Granite what? Not granite shaft. All right. So kuli kuli, soya cake or soya meal. Soya cake is also the extract of the residue from soya. You all know masara, you all know corn or maize, Abi. And some of those things which I'll call later in maybe the next 3 days when I'll come back again are things you can use to produce feeds. But let's look at the one that many of us buy in the market. I don't want to call the name of any company, but let's call it fish food. So the fish food you buy in the market, most of their price is now, they are bagged in 15 kilo bag. So when you go to any shops where they sell fish food, the normal bags are 15 kg bag. Is that okay? And a bag of 15 kg, for instance, AY, please join me. For instance, this is a feed. Okay? This is 2 mm. Hello? This is 2 mm. Hope you can see it. This is 2 mm. A bag of 2 mm, give me the next one. A bag of 2 mm is more expensive than a bag of 3 mm. Because 2 mm is highly proteinous. But when it goes to 3 mm, the protein content reduces. The energy content increases. Don't forget that protein is to build the body, while the energy is to give them weight. Is that okay? Please, all these things I'm saying, better keep it because I'm going to ask you questions. So, the next one, 4 mm. Okay? The price of 4 mm is cheaper compared to the price of 3 mm, compared to the price of 2 mm. The next one, this is 6 mm. So the price of 6 mm is cheaper compared to the price of 4, compared to the price of 3, compared to the price of what? 2. Now, give me the particle. That one. Give me this one. Now, this one is particle. We have 0.1, we have 0.3, we have 0.8, we have 1.2, we have 1.5 before you get to 2 mm. So the sizes of the fish that you're stocking will determine the size of the food you start with. I repeat myself. The sizes of the fish you are stocking will determine the sizes of food to start with. Is that okay? Now, this is 1 mm. I won't call the name of this company. This is 1 mm. If I put in the fishes I poured into this place and this one in my hand, which one is bigger? So this one is small. Hello? This one is small. If I give these small fishes, this 6 mm, can they eat it? Why? All of you are talking now. Nobody raise up your hand. No, you have talked. Okay, sister. Because what? The fish is small, the food is small. The fish is small. So if I open this thing now and I put small quantity of 6 mm, can they swallow it? Because the mouth aperture is small. The mouth aperture is small. But if I give them this particle, would they be able to eat it? Yes. Why? It's small. And their mouth is big enough to take it in. Are we learning? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. So now, so the size of the fish you stock will determine the size of feeds to start with. What took us to those explanations has to do with a budget. What should I budget to go into fish farming? See, at present price of things, please, I want to beg us. As your budget for to grow 1 fish to 1 kilo. Hello, I repeat myself. Budget between 1,000, 1,002. Well, let you put it 1,005, because things can still change tomorrow. Things can still change tomorrow. So a wise man who will hear me say 1,000 to 1,002, he will put small. It's better to have a budget that is surplus than to have a budget that is what? Deficit. So if you're going to put 1,000 and the price of the food now increase times 2 tomorrow, that means you're in trouble. So what I would advise us to do, if I say 1,000, 1,002, what do? Budget 1,005 for feeding your fish. If you keep that one and you keep 100 fish, 1,005 times 100 fish, how much is that? 150,000 naira. Don't go and start with 10,000 and say, I'm believing one of my uncle to give me money. Fish don't hear that prayer. Oh. If that uncle don't send money, uncle, the fish don't go chop. So for the audience at home, if you are stocking your fish, look at your budget based on what I've said. I said budget between 1,000 to 1,002. But please, if you're a wise person, budget what? 1,005. So if you're stocking 50, that means please separate 75,000. If you're keeping 10, separate 15,000. So that by the time you start feeding, you won't be scared. Even if they increase the price, there's no way they'll increase the price up to 50% in a given year. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's never possible. 50% in a year is never possible. But just play safe. So if you are keeping 100, budget 150,000. If you are keeping 50, budget 75,000. If you are keeping 10, budget how many? 15,000. Don't budget 1,005 times whatever you are stocking. Are we cool? If from that, can we use 100 as our benchmark? Can we? Do you have the house permission to use 100 as our benchmark? Okay, let's work with 100. 100, I budget 150,000. Is tomorrow I will break it down for us. How to spend that 150,000. So for those of us at home, please keep your paper and biro ready because tomorrow I'll break it down for you. I may know a few fish farmers that are watching also have made mistake. We want you to come back again because we are out for food security. We are out for food sustainability. We are out to see how we can produce these things in large volume and able to eat, feed our country, Nigeria. That's why I'm putting on green and white. Is that okay? I'm proud of my country. No matter what we have gone through, Nigeria shall be great again. We are looking at, they're looking at us, and we are looking at your own time, that you will make Nigeria better than my own age group. Is it true? Yes, sir. Smart farmer, is it true? Yes, sir. Because we believe God in the next 5-10 years, we should be exporting catfish out because we have produced enough to eat. Imagine the 40 of you, after this class you start, then you train another 10 people, that is 400. You train, those 10 people you train will go and train other people. Before you realize it, almost every household in the country is not just producing fish for their eating, which we call homestead domestication, but producing excess that they can sell to the market. And by the time they sell to the market, there's enough for everybody to eat and buy. What happened? We'll now be thinking of exporting. And by the time we start taking out export because ours is in order, what comes in? Hard currency. Hard currency. And when hard currency comes, what comes? Better life for the whole country. We can now post out there and tell them, hey, keep quiet. We don't need you. You need us. Why? We are exporting something to your country because God has helped us. In this program, many things will be taught. I'm just focusing on fish. The man that spoke to us says they talk about coconut. I pray they will allow me to come and be part of you to listen to that too. I want to learn how to grow coconut because he was talking of the importance and the significance of coconut. Is that okay? So many commodities will be atomized. So others at home, there's a big opportunity to learn so many things. You can pick one or two and focus on and multiply and get income and help our country to start exporting the excesses out. Now, coming back home, catfish. So I have 100. And I told us tomorrow I'm going to break it down. But if I have 100 and I'm starting with fingerlings, okay, what is my hand? It's like a net to scope. We call it scoping net. Okay? These fingerlings. Now, for these fingerlings, I cannot start with 2 mm. I can only start with the particle fold. And that particle fold, depending on the size of fingerlings or the age of the fingerlings, is this. Okay? This is what I will start with. Let's call it 1 mm, let's call it 1.2, 1.5, or not 2 mm, 1.5, 0.8 or 0.5. Excuse me. Note, if a fingerling is given to you and you're starting with 0.5, it's not fingerlings. They are pre-fingerlings. They are fish that are not up to fingerlings. Okay? But any fingerling should be able to take 1.2. 1 mm, 1.2. Is that okay? Now, if I start with 1 mm, automatically, this is month 1. Please follow me. Everybody at home, hear me out. This is month 1. I start with what? 1 mm. Don't go and say, Mr. Elijah, say, fish, you are 100. This is your food for this month. And you now pour everything inside. Is that what I said? If you pour everything inside, you will come and meet dead body the following day. Because the excess food will pollute the water and kill all your fishes. So you have to be patient. First of all, let this fish be your friend. I like staying around catfish than human. I spend more of my time with them because they are very friendly. You treat them well, they will respond to you. You can give them a name. Okay, scientific, that your name, okay, call it for us. Quickly. Okay, so it says something about you. So you can call them that name. Whenever you want to feed in the morning or in the evening, just call those names. Because you are starting at a point, all of them will move to that point. Those of you are doing fish farm, am I correct? They move to that point. So just to add fun to the business and put that particular aspect of love, they'll move to that point. Because they don't have any other person to give them food more than you, because you are the one that kept them in captivity. So they look towards your direction, your shadow. Whenever they see your shadow or hear your voice, they move towards that point to wait for you to give them nothing more than what? Food. So you must be patient in feeding. Don't just carry a bunch in your hand and throw inside the water. No. Just put a little. And then be feeding at a point. Don't pour. Feed at a point. Let them be used to that point. As you feed at a point, all of them will come in aggressively. But once you see that the aggression of picking up the food is no more there, wisdom will tell you to do what? To stop. Is that okay? What did I say again? I said, once you are feeding and the aggression is much, you can continue. But once you see that it has reduced and no more fish is coming to pick, what do? You stop. So audience, listen to that. Now let me quickly do this one as an experiment. Just cut it, tear it. Okay, just put small in my hand. Small. Go ahead. Now, this is 1 mm in my hand. Is that okay? Hello? Now, wash this activity. Hope all the fishes are swimming. Now, wash. Come on there. Excuse me. What did you notice? Is there a change in activity? Hello? Is there a change in activity? Why was that change? What brought about it? Food. Now, do you notice what is going to happen? Look. Where are they gathering more? Here or here? By my left. So, why are they there? Simple. So, when you trade them that way, I don't know if you are picking up interest now. So, don't do tailoring again, Mr. White. So, all of them are gathering here to pick food. The moment they are no more gathering and you are feeding and they are moving away, it shows you should stop. Is that okay? Because anything excess you put in there will pollute the water and reduce the oxygen and bring about mortality. Don't forget they have eaten. So they need oxygen to bring about the utilization of that feed to turn to flesh. So if you keep feeding and water gets dirty, automatically, because there's not much oxygen, there'll be high level mortality or death. Are we okay with that? So please try as much as possible to make sure your water is clean. Try as much as possible to be patient when it comes to feeding. Now, I will say that once they are done eating this one within 2 weeks to 1 month, because after 2 weeks you move to 1.2 to 1.5. By the time they are 1 month old with you from fingerlings, if you keep using this particle food, your cost of production will go high. Because this particle food is highly proteinous and is very expensive. Am I communicating? You now move to 2 mm. You move to 2 mm. 2 mm is cheaper compared to the particle food. You move to 2 mm. By the time it gets to the 3rd month, you move to what? 3 mm. By the time it goes to the 4th month, you use what? 4 mm. By the time you move to the 5th month, you go to what? 6 mm. And by the time you come to the 6th month, you use what? 8 or 9 mm. I repeat myself. 1 month, 1 mm. 2 months. Hello, smart farmers. 1 month. 2 months. 3 months. 4 months. 5th month. 6, I didn't call 5. 6 mm. Then 6th month. 6, 8, or 9 mm. You see, as the fish are growing bigger, the size of the food also gets bigger. The protein content will reduce from 1 mm to 2 mm to 3 mm to 4 mm to 6 mm to 8 mm. The cost of 8 mm, 15 kilo, is cheaper compared to the cost of 2 mm, 15 kilo. Reason? Because the protein in 2 mm is higher compared to the protein in 8 mm. At 868, 468, the energy content is high. At 321, the protein content is high, but the energy content is low. Is that okay? Protein is quite expensive compared to energy. Simple way. A kilo of fish is protein. Hope you know. Hello. One teacher, please. A kilo of fish is expensive. And we all know fish is what? Protein. If I bring a kilo of fish to the market to sell to you, and I bring a kilo of gari, all of them are kilo. Which one is more expensive? Hello. Which one is more expensive? Why is fish more expensive? Because it's proteinous. Gari is energy. So a kilo of gari, yes, it's a kilo. But it's not proteinous. It's energy giving. But fish is proteinous. It's bodybuilding. Is that okay? That's why, let me come back on to those at home. Those are our children. To born these days, the prayer. Those days, when they born us, our mom will give us a cam, we will grow. We'll tie our nose and throw the thing inside. If you like no drink, you must grow by force and give us breast to drink and give us natural milk. But these days, there are a lot of milk in the market. When they give birth, they'll start with milk. There are different, is it SMA, gold, silver? The girls are giving us the things now. But we hear how much a tin is. You almost want to shout. And these children were born in these days, they can take up to 5 to 10 things in a month. Am I correct? Yes, is it true? Yes, 5 to 10 things. And if a thing is 5,000, assuming.
You move to one.
A baby alone in the house. Take 10. That is 50,000. God help me for salary, that's 60,000. Prayer don't come. But you see, babies take a lot of protein. Reason? To grow. Is that okay? We are doing more of talking today so that tomorrow we do more of the practical. Hope my introduction is simple. Do you appreciate what I've done? So babies take a lot of protein. By the time they come out of that stage of 2-3 years, they will not start taking some little bit of energy, little bit of protein. By the time they are big, just like me and I'm not going to take milk. I mean, it looks somehow. But when you see me eating a bar, it's normal because I need energy. Is that okay? Now, I won't say that. This is fingerlings. This is jumbo. We didn't bring juvenile. We just want to have 2 for us for this class. Now, to round up this place, the class for tonight. If you go to buy fish to stock, please, hope you remember we have a foundation. The kind of quantity of fish you can put in your facility. Okay? The kind of quantity of fish you need to put in your facility, your sources of water, the space you have, the EIA talking of where the water will go to or having a garden. Hope you can remember all those things I've said. Now, it's not all fish you can put in your water. Some of us don't know that when you say, give me fingerlings, short man, short woman can give birth. Tall man, tall woman can give birth. Fat man, fat woman can give birth. Am I correct? If a short man and a short woman give birth, what happened to their children? They'll give us shorties. Am I correct? They'll give you shorties. I'm a lekpa man. If my wife is lekpa, what kind of children do we have? Lekpatious. Eh? If I'm fat and my wife is fat, what kind of children do we have? Fatis. Eh? Fatima. I didn't say that you call them. Now, but or biggest. So many things. This thing we look at, we are laughing with. Are some of the mistakes many of us do when we buy fingerlings, we buy juvenile. We don't know the kind of parents that give birth to them. Favor, join me, please, quickly. You don't know the kind of AY, two of you quickly. You don't know the kind of parents that give birth to them. So now, I want to show us something. For audience, please listen very well. Please come this way. Listen very well. What am I to me? Now, I'm going to teach you, please, I'm going to teach you some things. How to hold fish. That's why I'm going to close the class today. You are going to hold fish. It's a practical. Smart farmers, you are going to hold fish like this. So if you don't know how to hold fish, you can't be a good fish farmer. I'll teach you how to hold with your hand. If the thing shook this pin here into your hand, it's part of training. Just cry and clean your eye and start afresh. So don't be scared. It's part of practical. Now, this is a fish in my hand. Okay, let me allow AY to hold this. No, just hold it. Watch. Okay. Now, please. Hello. Hi. This is a female fish. AY, come closer, please. Come closer. Go to the other side. Take it up. Raise up the fish. Now, please don't block the video. Now, this is a female fish. Okay? This is a female fish. This is a female fish. How do I know they are female? Please, look at that. Look at the organ. It's round. Hello? Face the camera, please. Okay? The organ is what? Round. And the stomach is fat. Okay? This stomach that is fat and the organ is round shows that what both of us are holding is what? Female fish. Can you identify them now? Yes. So when you're eating fish next time and you see the stomach is heavy and the organ is round, please don't kill it. We need to keep producing fishes so that we have enough to eat, to duplicate, and to sell out. Is that okay? Yes. So this is a female fish. Both of them, may I tell you the truth, are age mate. They are age mate. Giving to birth, they were all giving birth to same day, same parents. Fish don't grow equally. As they are growing, some will grow faster. We call them shooters. Some will grow slowly. We call them runs. Or fish will not grow. They will grow, but they will not grow as big as the one that we call shooters. Is that okay? So, if I use this one to give birth, please follow, look up. If I use this one to give birth, this one, that means the babies that will come out of this, we have the gene, the trait of this particular mother. That means these fishes will do what? Will grow big. Hello? Am I communicating? If I use this one in the hands of AY to give birth, the fish will also grow. But they will not grow as big. Maybe a few can grow to this level. But majority will remain around the sizes of their father and their mother. So whenever you are buying fish to stock, in case you are not ashing, we are going to teach you ashing in this class. Please ask question. What is the size of the father? What is the size of the mother? If the father and the mother are dwarf, no matter the money you have, you are going to feed dwarf children. Because why? The background is what? Dwarf. Is that okay? Please, I'm not abusing dwarf. I'm just trying to bring it out in fish. So let's get it clear. Is that okay for us? This one's now, let me not use that title, dwarf. Let's say short, please. So this one, short. This one, big. Can we use that one now? So this particular short fish and this big fish, if I use their baby to grow, which one will my money do well? The one in my hand. So the one in AY own, let's call it AY. The one in my hand, we call it Onoja. So which one will do well? God bless all of you. All right, are we okay with this? Yes. Okay. So that is AY. AY, put AY here. So now, Let's show you male. Are we set? Now, this is Mama AY. This is Papa AY. So let's give AY, Papa AY. Now, me, I want to go for Onoja. Okay? Okay, let me look for a very big fish. Yeah. This is. Come closer, please. Anyway. This is what? This is Papa. Now, look at the organ. AY is getting. Know your AY very well. Let your world see your AY. No, turn it. Face it like this. See my hand. AY, turn your hand. Turn your hand, normal. Good. And now hold it till and raise it up. Good. Can you see it now? Yes. Can you see my own? Yes. Can you see your noja? Yes. Eh? Yes. Is the organ round or long? Long. Is it round or long? Long. As you can see, that long thing there is what makes it to be called Papa Onoja. The same thing with AY own. You can see that long one there. It's also long, Abi? Yes. But this one is a big Onoja. Yes. This one is a small AY. No, don't be small Onoja. Small AY. Small AY. Is that okay? Yes. Even though AY, I don't know, it's bigger physically between me and him. But then, this is AY. This is Onoja. Now, if I use Onoja Papa and that Mama Onoja, what happened to the children? They become Onojas. Onojas. And if I use this AY plus Mama AY, what happened to them? AYs. Which is that they are small AYs. This one is big Onojas. Now, the babies that come out from this are going to give you good returns on your investment by the time you feed them very, very well. Why the ones that come out from these small ones, they will not do well? Because why? The foundation is not right. So don't go and be buying. AY, thank you. Please, maybe during the break or tomorrow, I'll train you how to hold it because we're going for break very soon. But please have it at the back of both of you. Thank you. Now, by the time you want to buy, thank you, sir. By the time you want to buy your small fingerlings, because you will not know unless you ask. At this stage, you don't know whether it is AY or Noja. It's when they start growing, you start seeing that I'm feeding. This one is growing. Onoja is growing. AY is not growing. That's when you detect. So for you not to have that problem from foundation, better ask the person you are buying your fish from, in case you are not ashing. Please, what are the sizes of the parents? Because like beget like. Is that okay? If you go and buy fingerlings anyhow, and you put in your ponds anyhow, by the time you feed that they don't grow, you have lost your investment. So the foundation should be corrected and should be right. Is that okay? Okay, I'll just give room for 3 questions. One from here, one from here, one from here, one from here. Okay, your question? Okay, no, you have talked before. Who have not talked here? No. In this group? Are you 1 to 11? 1 to 10? You have talked. Let the fashion designer.
Yes, sir. My name is Aminu Ibrahim from Nasarawa State. How many days did the water hello? How many days did I change the water of the fish?
Okay, how many days did the water stay before I change the water? Is that your question? Okay, now, listen, it's a good question. If I put fish here, there's no way after some time to not be dirty. It will be dirty. Either they don't eat the food, or the food is too much. Don't forget, every living thing eats. Every living thing excrete or poo-poo or normal language, shit. Is that okay? You know, say we speak English and we speak broken English. Once you observe the color of the water has become greenish or brownish, please change the water. Once you start perceiving smell from the water, that the smell is not too okay, what do? Change the water. If you see your fish not swimming like this, but their head are outside the water, you come, you see all their head on top of the water. It shows that oxygen is not much there. They have reduced in quantity. That means they are not taking atmospheric oxygen. Not that was taking air outside the water, which is abnormal. Fish are supposed to stay in water because water is H2O, hydrogen, oxygen. But if oxygen reduce, what happens? The fish must survive. They'll start taking oxygen from the atmosphere, which is abnormal. That is stressful. That means what you do, you change the water. Is that okay? If the fish are standing straight because water is dirty, change. If water is dirty and smelly, what do? Change. If the color is not normal color, what do? Change. What time do you change? You change either in the morning or in the evening. Don't change water in the afternoon because of the sun. So I don't stress them. A day, maybe if I'm feeding my fish up till this afternoon, if I need to change the water tomorrow morning, okay, if I'm a wise farmer, which I know you are smart farmers as well too, maybe you jump a meal before changing water. If I'm going to change water tomorrow morning, this evening I'd rather not feed. Because what will have given me the idea that I'm going to change water tomorrow is that my water is dirty, my water is smelling, the color of my water is not too pleasant to the eyes. So that means this evening I won't feed them. Because if I feed them, automatically the oxygen that will make the food to be utilized is not much. So by the time I come in the morning to change water, when I change the water, I will see a lot of them vomiting the food outside their mouth. Because the oxygen yesterday night was not enough to utilize that food into flesh. Is that okay? So try and skip a meal within the hours you know, and then you can change your water. Either in the morning or when? Or in the evening. Not in the afternoon when the place is so sunny. No, but from this class, no, I'll come back to you. Yes? Hope you have not spoken. Okay.
I want to ask question. I want to ask question regards the feeding and the management. Hello? How can we manage the food? Like maybe you buy a bag of. How can you manage it? Is it that you just feed them anyhow? Yes, sir.
How do you manage the food so that you don't waste the food? I'll give you some handouts tomorrow. There's a calculation depending on the body weight of the fish. The body weight of the fish will determine the quantity of food they can eat per day. Okay? But you see, many of us did not go to school. And some of the audience, if we do this calculation, they'll be confused. So what I will tell us to do, everybody, both you here and those of us watching, carry some quantity of feed in your hand. Put at a point. Once they finish eating, put more. Once they finish eating, put more. The minute they are no more aggressive, put small and go away. Then come back later. If they finish eating, put more. If they are no more coming, stop. Am I communicating? So you use your common sense to know how to feed. If you want to go through the scientific way, okay, and try to do body calculation, it will become too cumbersome. I want to feed 100 fish. I will not take like 20. I will scale it. Look at the weight. Divide the weight by the number. Get an average weight. Go to that calculated book and look at, okay, what volume of food will they eat now? You see, many people will not have time for that. Okay, but that should be the best way, so I don't waste food. But because of little shortage of maybe understanding, let's use the simple way, which is what? Feed and wash. Is that okay? Feed and wash. Once they stop eating, stop. Anything you put they are not eating, it's a wastage of your investment. Are we okay with that? So have I answered you very well? Sure? Okay, from this class, Mr. White has spoken before. Sister, please. Okay. What's the question?
Okay, good evening. My question is this. For example, now I actually have my fish, which is a mommy onoja, because okay, which is mommy onoja because I don't really want EY. So, for example, I have my fish, which is mommy onoja. How do I, and maybe she's actually pregnant, how do I control her giving birth? Because I normally ask this question when going to buy fish. They tell me, okay, if you want to control your fish giving birth, is either you give them injection or yes.
So your question centers on moving that egg.
Yes, sir.
That one at tomorrow. We're not going to finish everything today. Since you asked, I didn't know. Madam, please give her. I'm not partial. I didn't know. Please give her, please. Go ahead. I'll come back to more with you. So everybody can be balanced. But ask your question first.
My question is, since I was taught that if we are to go, as in we should look at the sizes. So my question is, if Mama Onoja and AY, Mama Onoja and Papa Onoja, if they come together, would their size still be the same?
Okay, their size will be the same, but then there will be some little bit of variation. Even you, if you're married and your husband is the same height and body with you, all your children cannot be like you. Some might be because of the genetics of your parents. Okay? You know, that will they play. Like me now, I'm a little bit fair. My wife is fair. One of my daughter black. Now go look my papa black. Are you getting the point? But she's my daughter. But my color and her mother color is not a color. But my papa will born me, he black, but my mama yellow. Are you getting the point? So sometimes somewhere this might not be equal, normal. But then you have children that also have on the majority similar traits or likeness like you.
But sir, you said that we should not go for Papa Onoja, as in AY. We should avoid AY sizes and go to Onoja sizes. So does it mean that AY sizes we should not, as new starters, we should not just like go to them? We should go for Onoja.
See, man, you want to grow fish to be big, and the later you say Papa small or Papa short, Mama short, and you know that the food you are giving to them is for them to grow big. The bigger the fish, the better the market. Is that okay? How can I carry my money and say fish Papa small, Mama small, AYs? Then I will carry my money and feed them. Knowing fully well now, AYs they will give me at the end of the day on the majority. And the market value cannot be compared to Onojas that are big. So wisdom is to guide you that when you ask the sizes of their parents and they say they are big, that means automatically we can buy their siblings or their seeds and grow them to maturity. Because don't forget, give to the next person, please. Underline, please. Don't forget. Hello, let me take the last question. Or should let me quickly say this before it skips. Beloved, you see this fish here. It's a seed. Please, audience, listen very well, because I'm about to summarize. It's a seed. I want to say this seed. Please quickly, favor, please. I want to see this seed. Okay? Bend down, please. I want to see this seed grow from here and become something like this. Are you following me? Something like this. That is the essence of feeding. It's an investment. I have fishes like that. How long will it take to get to this? 5 to 6 months or 4 to 6 months, depending on how you manage your water. Now, this thing that you're looking at on the floor there, you're looking at on the floor there, are the feeds. Which is what they will consume. I'm going to spend almost 1,500 for 4 to 6 months to give me this. If I'm spending 1,500 to feed for that 4 to 6 months and gives me this will not be sold for 1,500. Are you getting the secret now? Yes. So when you say a catfish farmer, it's not to grow fish. It's to grow fish to make profit. It's a profession on its own. Are you getting the point? It's a profession on its own. I feed them. It gets to this. I spent 1,500 in 4 to 6 months to obtain this or to attain this. By the time I want to sell this in the market, I must make profit on it. Yeah. So the profit on this is like a fixed deposit. You put money somewhere to grow. After a certain period, it becomes mature. They give you money, they give you profit on it. So by the time I want to sell this, I will not sell it for 1,500. Because it was 1,500 I spent to grow this. In power, in labor, in feeding. Now I want to sell. If I sell this for 1,500, I'm not in business. I just wasted time. But by the time I want to sell this 1 kilo, 2,000, 2,005, depending on the environment you're selling it, that means I'm not making profit. So when I talk of having children from onojas, is because you want to have big onojas that will give you good money in market. If you go and buy A1 and they don't grow, they'll price it below your cost of production. Is that okay now? Have you gotten the picture? All right. Now, last people here quickly so that we can
Good
close.
evening, everyone. My name is Abagi Margaret from Benue State. Sir, in order not to buy an AY, is there any way we can see an Onoja fingerlings and identify it on our own? Like, without someone telling us this is Onoja, we should know ourselves. Is there any way?
The only way to know is to stay with a reputable company.
Okay.
I produce fingerlings. Okay? I stay in Abuja. Okay? I'm using myself as a case study. Okay? I produce those things.
Okay.
So if you buy from me, it doesn't do well, you can come and fight me.
Okay, sir.
Please, any consultant that give you fingerlings, that give you juveniles or jumbo to go and grow, see, even common sense go tell you, make you look in farm. Because it's not going to bring it from somewhere that is not a farm. It's a farm. It must show you even some ponds where it's growing big fish. Hello?
Yeah.
And it must be consistent. Not somebody that is off today, tomorrow is not, you're not seeing him again, he'll come back again. No. Somebody consistent. Somebody that people have, or persons that people have been buying their fish seedlings from, and they've been giving positive report. That if you buy that man fish, you grow am, that fish will do well. Is that okay? Because many people have been going there to buy. That is how you can detect. Okay. The testimonies from a breeder will guide you.
Okay,
and
sir.
Please don't change consultant, because if you're buying fish from Onoja, for instance, I have to guide you so that you can get the benefit of why you went into fish farming, or why you took it as a profession or one of the means of having income. I will guide you. Please, this is what my fish likes eating. This is when you should expect to sell. By the time you sell and you are happy, where will you go back to? Or you come back to Onoja? Is that okay? And if it doesn't do well, Onoja, my fish not do well, will not come to know what happened. If I know my fish are good, and maybe the management principle you apply is not too okay, I will tell you. But if it's not okay, then we'll not come to a compromise. Okay, take the starter first. Let's see how it goes. So have one consultant. There are a lot of consultants in this. This is the only business you have plenty consultants in the whole world. Somebody will do 1 month for my farm can say it's not a consultant. They will come and be telling you, he doesn't have a farm. He said if you grow 10,000, you become a millionaire. Is the person a millionaire? Does he have a farm? But mouth testimony, not on-ground testimony. So watch out for such.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much,
Any
sir.
other question from this group? Want to jump and quickly? Now, why asking question? I want to close now with a fun something. You will select 2 people from this house who will help us to carry. God will give mark for it. 2 people from this house who will help us to carry fish from here. 2 from this house. 2 from this house. You will come. I will train you. Hey, don't make noise. So I'll give F9 you. Hello, you're becoming a teacher. 2, 2, 2, 2. Pocket. No, I'll put the fish on the floor. I'll put it on the floor. Since the floor is already carpeted, you can put the floor. I didn't ask you to come. It's like those guys that did fishery are the one coming. 1 man, 1 woman. 1 man, 1 woman. 1 man, 1 woman. 1 man, 1 woman. 1 man. So I didn't ask you to stand. Last question here. Quickly. Last question.
Okay, good evening, sir.
If you make noise, I will penalize you. Yes, I'm with you, man. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Okay, I'm from Emmanuel Inhezo from Imo State.
Okay.
My question is about the feed.
Okay.
I've come across somewhere where I heard about.
Don't call the name of any feed.
No, I'm not calling. About floating feeds and sinking feeds.
Okay.
So my question is, sir, between floating fish feeds and sinking fish feeds, which one are better for the stages of the fishes in the pond? Thank you.
I'll answer your question this way. Floating feed is okay. It's better than sinking because it will not pollute your water faster. Is that okay? And also it helps beginners to know how to feed their fish because the audience there If you tell them to start with sinking feed, feed that sink in water, they will just be pouring without knowing whether the fish are eating. And before you realize it, the water gets dirty. And that brings about quick pollution. So for you beginners, start with floating feed. But the thing is this, there are some sinking feed that their formula that they use to produce it are better than the floating feed. That's why I said I want to call names. Is that okay? But which one, for the sake of this class, you just ask which is better for the floating and the sinking. For beginners like you, and many of the audience listening to us out there, let's start with floating or extruded feeds. Is that okay? I've taken 2 years, 1. Okay? Okay, ask questions, Mr. White.
Thank you, sir. My name is Ange.
1 minute.
My name is Ange Reina Kingsley, Mr. White. And so please, I have 2 questions.
Quickly.
One, we will mention the type of sizes of feed, 2 mm, 3 mm, 4 mm.
Question?
Skip from 5 mm to 6 mm. Why is that there is no 5 mm? That's one. Secondly, can we crossbreed the shooters and the runs to get a better breed?
Okay. Now, who is the person here, please? Now, I'll come to you. No, you're the last person. Hold on. Sir, you see, even a fish that is already eating 4 mm it's already have a big mouth that can take 6 and 8. But the energy content of 6 and 8, okay, are not the same. So when we jump 5, it's not because we cannot do 5. The mm is just a disc. It's a round hole. That when we produce the feed, we brought out the formula, we grind it to powder, okay, we pulverize it to powder, like semo powder, okay? By the time you put it into the system, the machine, the outing is determined by the size of the disc or the hole. So I can do 5 mm disc diameter. It will come out like that. So, but because it has become a norm, it's a norm. So it's just a thing. It has nothing to do with maybe 5 mm, maybe it's quite different from 6 mm. No, it's just a norm. Okay? Number 2, can't I carry Onoja and AY and do? Bros, we're in business. I can't carry my money to go and buy a fish instead of using Onoja Papa, Onoja Mama that are big, that will give me big fish. I'll not carry myself, go and carry AY. Then I will not be having children that is AY and Onoja. What if AY now have dominance over Onoja? All my children now AY. That means the babies that I'm putting money to grow will not grow well. So wisdom will tell you, go for Onojas. It's business. It's not fun. But want to do fun, why not? Is that okay? Now quickly.
My name is Vincent. I just want to ask, please, what's the best counsel you give me in order to stop cannibalism in my fish pond? Is it by separating them into sizes or giving them extra feed? Thank you, sir.
All right, this is supposed to be for tomorrow. I'll just quickly say that for the sake of the house and for you. Once the fishes are growing, the bigger ones, separate them from the smaller ones. Then you have to get some, we call it sorting or grading. So you have to get some containers. You can't just put all of them to grow at the same environment. Because those bigger ones, they're carnivorous. Those bigger ones will just start picking up the smaller ones. So this is why most people who go about stocking fingerlings, they'll go and put 1,000 fingerlings in a given container. They will not sort or grade. And they expect that at the end of 6 months, the 1,000 must be there. It's not possible. Because you didn't grade, the big one will not eat your food you are giving to them. They will rather look for those small ones that refuse to grow. It's only the stubborn one that will try to run away that you meet at the end of the day. That will still look small. But most of the smaller ones will be eaten off. Is that okay? So the best thing is maybe first, second, third month, try to separate fishes because at that time, they are very good in cannibalism. But once they are 4 months and above, I mean, a fish of almost your size is coming to eat you. You will react. Is that okay? All right. Final question.
I have 2 questions.
Quickly, because of time.
Number 1, what are the maturity stage of the parent stock?
Okay.
Number 2, how many times should we feed our fish?
In a day, daily. Good question. Now, broodstocks are fishes that are more than 1 year old. In 6 months, most of the fish are big. but their organs are not ripened enough. In other words, the mate or the sperm sac that we need from the male, the milk content, which I'll call it the milk content for the sake of the audience, is not yet well mature to fertilize. Like a baby that is 16-year-old boy, okay, or 10-year-old boy. These days you can see a boy that is 12 years bigger than me. Am I correct? That does not mean it's mature to father a baby. Or a lady that is 10 years, 12 years. It's very rare to see them having baby. Am I correct? Same thing. But when somebody is 18, it's time to be mature. That's why the law say 18 years and above for you to talk of marriage. But anything below 18 is an abuse of kids or children. Hope I'm communicating. So the same thing to fish. A fish must be 12 months, 1 year and above. But to get a better one, target 1.5 years. 1.5 years will give you ripened eggs and a good sperm sac. All this will be showing us tomorrow. Is that okay? So the second one, how many times do you feed in a day? If you have a good water system, not to stop you to feed every 8 hours. 8 hours, that means 3 times a day. But if you are the one that changes water maybe once, twice in a week, is that okay? You need to feed morning and evening. Because if you keep feeding morning, afternoon, evening, and you don't have a good water availability, there will be a problem. And then your cost of production will go high. I do twice a day, morning and evening, because the most important thing is to be able to eat the volume of food needed per day. Is that okay? Hope I've answered you well. Are you happy? Yes, were you well taught? Yes, hello? Hi. We're about to run off now, but we're going to do practical. 2 people from here, a male, a female, a male, a female, a male, a female, a male. So I need to see 8 people. Only 8 people. See, yeah, from that class, I'm saying, no. From that group, hello, everybody go back. Everybody go back. Mr. White, go back. Hello, go back. Please, it's fun. The house are looking at us. Hello. Please, sit down, please. I want to give a head to each class so that the head can nominate 2 people. Okay, head. What's your name? Quickly. Emmanuel, you're the head of this group. What's your name? Abiola, you're the head of this group. Okay, what's your name? Augustine, you're the head of this group. What's your name? Aruma, you're the head of this group. So Aruma, give me 2 people from here. Augustine, give me 2 people. Abiola, 2 people. And Emmanuel, 2 people. Quickly. Orderly, 2 people. Quickly. A male, a female. A male, a female. A male, a female. Quickly. Time is not our friend. So this for this group. This for this group. Hello. Please, you have to face the camera. Hello. You have to, okay, all of you will be on stage. Please stay with your partner. Go to the stage, please. Hello. Time is not our friend. Okay. Hello, please. Just stay on the group. Stay with your partner. Don't just scatter yourself. If you're going to stay with another group partner, now God will help you. Stay with your partner. Where's your partner? I don't like this. Yes, Emmanuel. Or you. Okay, you move here. There's your partner. Where's your partner? And why are you now close to the zone? You stay with your partner. So where are you from? All right. Okay. Fatima. Who is Fatima? She should come back. Your answer says she should come back. Please clap for Fatima. Okay. Because I was getting confused seeing you with 2 people. Plus, I'm getting close to his partner. Shift. Mr. White, the house head has spoken. I overrule you out. Whether is his advantage. Now, AY, quickly. Now, I want everybody to see the way I'm going to hold the fish. Okay? Just watch the way I'm going to hold the fish. And follow me. Your hands. See my hands? See my hands? Okay. See my hand. See what I do. Everybody? Okay, me? Okay. Everybody? Have you seen my hand? You see? is like an eagle coming to grab a thing. You know when eagle is coming? Can I continue now? Watch me. See? Now, I've gripped. This one, head this one. This one, head this one. Hello, come back a little. Come back a little. Hey! I go back again. Similar step. It's a big fish. Is that okay? It must struggle. That is survival instinct. Is that okay? So now, am I okay with this? If you use that to just hold this and this thing pierce through your hand, it can injure you. What I'm trying to do is to hold the head, and this pierce aspect stays in between our hands or fingers. Is that okay? You know I caught it from the water. I'll do one more time for you to see. See my hands? Hello? Okay, let me look for a big fish again. Hope you know I picked this up from another bowl. Hello? Am I holding it well? Can you see similar experience? Observations? Okay, can I put it back now? Okay. Now, group 1. Two of you come. Quickly. I'm already giving you marks, group 1. That is 1 to 10, am I correct? Just pick any feather, small or big. Bros. I'm timing you. Please, someone should time. 1 minute, okay? Come back. The world is looking at her. Hold it. Well, okay, but hello. You're supposed to use the two, but don't worry. Okay, you can put it back. Clap for group 1. Okay. I know how long it took you to catch. Group 2. You see, the faster they catch, the better their marks. Okay. Hello, audience. Hope you can see. Group 2 are faster than group 1. So clap for group 2. Take it back. Group 3. So on our marking system, group 2 have better mark than group 1. Okay. Oh yeah, go ahead. The faster, the better. Quickly beat group. Wow! So group 3 faster than group 2. Group 2 faster than group 1. Okay. Now group 4. Let's run group 4 with it fast. Group 4. All right. Okay, put it back. So, group 3 better than group 2, but group 1 and group 4, I think group 4 is a little bit faster. Wait. Hello. Let the moderator say something. Group 3, we already know that group 3 beats everybody. Am I correct? See, Nigeria, we are known to be truthful. Is it because the audience also can testify? The comment section is there for you to make a comment, so that you know we are all in this together. We that are here on ground, and those of you watching on all the links we have sent out, you can also make your comment. Group 3 did better than group 2. Am I correct? Group 2 did better than group 1 and group 4. Am I correct? Where we have a wahala is to tell the moderator, who is neutral, to tell us between group 4 and group 1 which one time was fast or faster. Group 4 was faster than group 1, and that was what I said. So group 3 have it, followed by group 2, followed by group 4, and followed by group 1. Group 1, don't give up, because tomorrow we are going to something else that you can beat. Group 2, no, excuse me, after giving vote. Madam, please sit down. Hey, madam, please sit down. I will support mark from your group. Now, group 3, better than group 2. better than group 4, better than group 1. Be happy today. Yes, go ahead. Okay. 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 Wow. Wow. Excuse me. You said 4 was 9. And 2 than what? Well, I do. Wait. They said 4, 9, 2, 12. So I was not timing, but I was using our observation. You are timing. See, that's why we like. This is VAR. This is. Excuse me. Don't argue. Hello. This is VAR. You know when you watch ball with me, why be referee? I might not see it well. So the VAR have said group 1 and group 3 authentic. I made a mistake of giving to group 2, but VAR drew my attention and said, Mr. Noja, no. Group 4 did their own faster in 9 seconds. While group 2 did 12 seconds. And group 1 did 15 seconds. So group 4, you have it. Second. Now, see, don't be sad. Group 1 and group 2. Hold on. Tomorrow, group 2, to group 2 we just, and group 1 will just somersault the two of you. So I will say that, has it been fun? Hello? Has it been fun? You don't argue with VAR. Once a VAR has spoken in football, it's final. The only thing you do is after we have finished the show, maybe there will be an apology, as they used to do. But for now, I've been overruled as a referee by VAR, and I must respect them because not only me, there are 3 of them who took that decision, not one person. Are we okay? Now, has it been fun? Yes. Did you enjoy your time? Yes. Are you looking forward to tomorrow? Yes. Tomorrow, I'm going to train us on how to inject the fish, how to bring out the eggs. Many of us have been talking of, what do you call it now? Where's ovulin? We have been talking of using ovulin to inject fish and to get these eggs out. But I'll be teaching us a process because some of our people are in the extreme north, extreme south, extreme west, extreme east, where they are not easily close to, civilization or big markets because of distances or barriers of the location they are. Is that okay? But don't to ash, and they can't have access to overprim or ovulin. What are they to use? I'll be bringing out something from the head of either the female or the male that you can use as an alternative to overprint to bring out the eggs from the woman. So tomorrow we'll kick off from there. So for the audience, thank you for your patience. We are grateful. Hope you have a swell time. So tomorrow we'll be having a good time again. I hope you have learned something. We need to hear your remark in our comment section and know your observation and things you have learned tonight so that tomorrow we'll get it better. Once again, thank you. Look forward to tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Physiology. Yes, please. Thank you so much for being on the Agrivest Reality TV Challenge. So, guys, I never knew fish. Fish has a male and a female. We learn every day. How do you guys feel, by the way? This is day 1, and is this hot? Do you feel the energy? You guys don't look like you've learned anything. Okay, I need one person from each group to give me a highlight for them. The highlight for you through this class. One person. Okay, you know what? Let's have the heads of each group give us highlights for them. Let's start with group 1. Where's the other mic? Okay, the mic is with 4. Go ahead, just give 4 to start. We can start backwards. Good evening.
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
The highlights of this. Okay, I learned about selection of water. Selection of water. How you select water, transparent water, color, knowing the acidity level of the water and the alkali, which acidity level should be better, which is between 5 and 9. And 6 and 8 to be the better level for water to use for fishes. And going to the field, we learned about the 1 mm, which is the particle, the 2 mm, the 3 mm, the 4 mm, the 6 mm, and the 7 mm, the 8 mm, sorry, yeah, the 8 mm. Then we learned about the sizes of ponds. This is a 50 kg liter of or plastic of pond. Then this is 2,000 liter tapering pond. While this is a 1,000 liter fiber pond.
Amazing. Our viewers, this is a highlight. Okay, so this review is for our viewers out there to recap, to remember, and register it deep in your brains, because when we come back tomorrow, it's going to be hotter. This is just day one, and is this crazy hot because I'm catching fire inside of me. I feel like a billionaire in fishery already. Okay, let's hear from the second group. That's third.
We need to understand we need to understand the different waters that are active into observe the containers and from the water. We need to understand that the fact that they have water in salt water, and we need to understand the techniques in which we test the quality of the water, the pH values. It's between 5 to 9 to assess the best pH values are between 6 and 8. And we need to understand there are different feeds that that we use to feed our fishes, and we need to understand there are different type of fishes with different sizes. We need to understand the fact that we could have fishes from different generic genes, but we are advised to pick bigger fishes because they have genes and they have the notion to produce bigger lines of generation to their. So because it's also it brings better economic value as fish farmers. We understand that fishing is actually a business, so we don't want to waste money. And also, we also learn the fact that we are supposed to farm fish between a certain period, so probably between 4 to 6 months, and between those times we feed our fishes different sizes of meals, and those meals are between 1 mm to 9 mm, and each size of fish contains quality protein, which helps the growth of those fishes. And
Please give him a round of applause, guys. It's not easy, but it looks like this selection is going to be very, very tough because you guys are like computers. Okay, let's hear from the next group.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. My name is Oise Augustine. I'm speaking on behalf of my group. We learned about feeding the fish. Normally, if you spread your feed, the fish might not gather at a spot to pick them. So you locate a spot where you feed your fish so that they can get the feed, because the feed is the most important in fish business. If you waste your feed, definitely you're wasting your resources. So as you spot feed them, they gather, you check their reactions. If their reactions are fast, you know they are picking it. As soon as you discover that their reaction is getting slower, that means they are almost getting feed. By the time you come back to feed them and they are not responding, you know they are okay. So that helps you to save the cost of your feeding. And also, we are being made to understand that as you stock your pond, if you start feeding them from that juvenile state or the fingerlings, the feed contains protein as young fish. If you feed them with protein, it makes them grow faster. But as soon as they start growing, maybe from 2 months, if you still feed them with feed that contains protein, if you can afford it, it will still help your farm to grow speedily because you are feeding them with protein. But as soon as they get to a particular state, you can start feeding them with the 3 or 4 that contains more of carbohydrates. That gives them weight. While you feed weight at month 4 to 6 is because the market value gives you value for the weight and the size of the feed. So at the beginning of your stocking, you feed them with protein so that they will grow speedily. While at the time you want to sell, you give them more of carbohydrates so that the weight will be more. And also, the feeding, you are not meant to feed a smaller fish with, let's say, 3 or 4 because they cannot swallow it because their mouth aperture is small. And if they don't feed, they won't grow. And also, we were being given the mathematics to stock in our pond. If you stock 100 in a pond, it will do better. But if you stock lesser quantity, let's say you stock 60 in a pond, it will make the fish grow bigger because they have space to swim and they have space to escape from cannibalism.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. Okay. This is going to be tough. Please, let's have the last person.
Good evening.
Good
My
evening.
name is Audu Abdullahi, and I'll be giving a summary lecture. First and foremost, before going into fish farming, you must first have the interest of fish farming.
Interesting.
After the interest, you have your budget, which you will work with. Your budget, which you will work with in fish farming. Then after having the budget, you determine the space where you want to farm this fish. And the space also determine the container which will be used for this farming. Then when you get your container, as each container has a certain amount or volume of water to be in it. If I'm using this white tank, then I'll be expecting to put in a 1,000 liter of water. That's the volume in it. And by knowing that volume, we also know the number of fish you can put in such tank. Then when you get the water, you have to test for the type of water, that the one that will be suitable for it, which preferably is a soft water, a fresh water to be good. Then after getting the water, you get your fish in the pond. Then the fish to be put preferably should be the one with the bigger size, which will maximize your profit in the long run. And getting the fish, as the month goes by, you know the sizes of feed, the types of feed you feed them. At the early stage, between the 1 month is you require a 1 mm to 1.2 mm to feed them. Then as the month goes, 3, you require 3 mm, and 4, at the time where you determine the types of feed to give this.
Thank you very much. I love how you guys captured the whole of the class. Literally, you guys summarized everything. And I hope that our viewers also had their books and they learned a lot. You might do well to drop us comments. Drop your reviews also in the comment section. Tell us what you have learned and give us the highlights of the whole class. And tomorrow we come back again with yet another fire, still on fish farming business on Agrivest Reality TV. You can follow us on all social media platforms on Agrivest Reality. And tomorrow, we see you. with more fire. Guys, it's going to be a very tough one. The way I see them like this. Now computer will carry for you. Computers. Look at how they recap everything like kilo day. I mean I get recording device for my heads. Anyways, I'm proud of you guys and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another segment of the fish farming business. Here live on Agrivest Reality TV Challenge. 20 million, one winner, 40 smart farmers. Thank you. Oh, and I recommend honey. The only honey you will hear that will carry you walk around the Agrivest crib, show you all that you need to know about the Agrivest Reality TV Challenge. And tonight, guys, more enter I don't they hungry. Thank you. All right, see you all. You guys, they